Hello and welcome. Miriam Castanho Bollinger here, and today the project that we're going to be working on is this matchbox. And as you can see, it makes for a nice little packaging for a gift. It pulls out, it has even a little cutoff in here. So we're going to work on that. I'm going to teach you primarily the technique on how to prepare the box. So let's go ahead and get started. To prepare that box, we're going to need our envelope punch board and also our scoring board. But first, let's work with this. You're going to start with the 8 by 8 piece of DSP paper, and you're also going to need a 10 inches by 4.5 inches piece of cardstock, and the piece that goes inside the box just for covering and adding a little more structure to the box is a 4 3/8 by 2 3/4. All those measurements will be posted on my on my blog, so you don't have to worry about it at this point. So let's go ahead and see what we're going to do now. We're going to have to score at punch all the sides, and we're going to start at the 2.5 inches marking. We're going to punch first, and we're going to score it, and it's not going to quite go all the way to the end of the paper, but it's going to be enough. Rotate, and now we're going to do 3.5 inches. Same thing, punch and score. Rotate one more time, go back to the 2.5 inches. Punch and score. And another one, 3.5, excuse me, punch, oops, and score. So now we have this piece is scored 4 times, but that won't suffice. We need to use our scored lines. I don't know if you can see very well, but that is our scored lines where we have the notch cut off. We need to use that score line to make another notch and another score. If you cannot see the marking where you scored first, don't worry about it. What you have to do is line up the notch here on the side, line up with the track where you score, and you're going to be just fine. So don't fret if you can't see it. I normally use this as a guidance because it makes just a little bit easier. And I'm going to go punch and score again on 4 notches using the previously made as my guide. And just the last one, and there you have it. So we have 2, 2, 2, 2 in each side. So I'm going to go ahead and leave my scoring tool out, take the little scrap, and that's what we have now. So we're going to have to fold this on the scoring part. So I'm going to go ahead and fold them, all 4 sides, and then we're going to start preparing for the assembly. Now, when we did the scoring, we will have, if we fold like this, you see that a little bit is left over here. So when you did the first folding and the second, you have 2 lines, fold this one up and fold it again. So now you have scored the little edge area. So fold this edge inside and fold the outer line. Fold the edge, fold the inner line, and there. Fold the edge, the inner line, and there. Now I normally do not use any kind of adhesive to this box, and I don't make any notches. What I do, I use this corner, which in lots of cases I have seen people cut it off. I try to take advantage of that, and I fold inside, just like so. And I do not use any adhesive on them. So I fold it, I hold them a little bit, and you know what? I think I'm going to use this side as the outer shell of the box. And it's perfectly fine. Just reverse the folding for the pretty designed area to be outer rather than inner. So with that said, we're going to continue to make the assembly of the box. So we're going to fold this area like I did on the first one, which was this one, and we're going to do the second one. So you just essentially what I'm doing, just pushing it inwards, the middle of it, and then folding on the inside once I line up the edges. It does appear a little difficult, but it's not. Don't be afraid, and you can always notch with your scissors one side and fold it inwards without having to worry about this. If I do this way, I just normally don't even use any adhesive. Just put it like that, and so be it. And you're gonna see why. So now I have these ears folded over inwards, and there I have it folded, and I'm gonna fold it inwards on this one too. So what about these flaps inside? Well, that's where this other piece come about. So once you put in there, it holds all in place. As you can see, we didn't use any adhesive for this, for the bottom part of the box. Now, what I did forget to do it, and that is very easily fixed, is to make the little notch. We want to have a little place where we can make it easy to open and close our box. So this part here, it has 3 inches. We're going to line up with our envelope punch board in 1.5 inches from the flap. So we're just going to look into the center part of that, not considering the flap. I'm going to flap this one down, line this part, this edge, with the 1.5 inch mark, and a punch. And that's all it takes to make the little notch area. So again, we're going to fold it back. That gives a good visual. If I have to fold it back this many times, you will see how I went about. And now we can just place the cover in the end of the box. So the bottom of the box is done. Now what I need is my scoring board. And for this one, we're going to have to make several scoring, and that is just for this piece of cardstock. And I'm pulling here, so I hope you can see very well. Don't pay any attention to those marking here. Those are for other purpose, but I'm going to leave them in place because that will help me later. We're going to score at 2.5, and then we're going to score again at 4 inches, and then we're going to jump over to 7 1/8, and then 8 5/8. So that's all we're going to do with the cover. So of course we're going to again fold it on crease, make the creases on the folded, on the scored lines, that is, pardon me. And you assemble it by adhering that, and then you will have your box assembled. Now, as you can see from the sample that I made earlier, I did a little bit different finish on the front of it. I added a little bit of embellishment, and I also added a window. Now, the window was done. First, you need to pay attention to your center area, where will be the top of the box. So the folded area will be on the bottom of the box. So we're gonna work on here. To do the window, like we did on the sample, what I did, I used the square Framelit collections. So I used the 2 sizes. But before I did any of the cutting, I added this piece here of the embellishment of the design series paper, and also I added this piece, and then I did the cut. So these the embellishments were added first before I did the cutting. So once I did that, I positioned, and since I was using the magnetic platform, I didn't have any problem with it moving or, you know, cutting it crooked and whatnot. So I cut it, and then I also cut it another frame using the same layout as we did it here, using the same layout I used for cutting the frame. The window sheets, that is for Quattro Fancy DSP paper, I used the larger one, and it is quite thick. It's an acetate material, so it's quite thick to cut it, so you do have to put it on that and give a good couple of passes so you can obtain the cut. And if you don't, it will score enough, we can cut it with the scissors. And to adhere it, I put a glue on the frame, on this Wisteria Wonder frame, and then put the sheet on top. And when I did the cutting on the yellow, it made a frame of the framelit always marks a little bit on that. So I just put a glue in there and adhered all it to the top. So it makes easier to do it that way. I don't know if it's possible to see inside, so you have a seamless on the inside that nothing will catch as you slide the box. You don't have anything to catch. If this was done inside, if you have any other thing inside, it would catch on the box. So that makes a little bit easier. I'm not going to do I'm not going to embellish the box on this demonstration. I can come back in another video and demonstrate to you how to do those cuttings for making a frame and a window on boxes or other projects. But today what I want to concentrate on was on how to make the matchbox. I have made other sizes of these boxes. I have used DSP to start out 6x6. This one was 8x8, so it gave me a much larger box and has enough depth to it. So I'm going to embellish this box another time and perhaps make another video so you can take a look and learn another technique. So I appreciate you stopping by today to see this video, and I hope you come back soon. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.